Okay, Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah Kwadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and salutation to you Akim out there that has been pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. We're in the year where the Lord Yahweh, why Yahweh Shah, is turning things up. You see, you had multiple people die in a high-rise Bronx complex. Then you had, this lady got pushed on the subway tracks. She died. You have this lady, this chick, this female, a nigga woman, age 23, by the name of Sabrina Furlow, coming from St. Louis. She led a posse of goons to do a home invasion. But little did they realize that dude that they was trying to invade his home without consent, he started shooting off a chopper. And that chopper was an AK-47, and he was a military veteran, and he was allowed to have that. So what happened? So the video, and I found out through Willie D, which was a part of the Ghetto Boys, but now he got a podcast doing this thing. So when I found out from Willie D, I said, you know what? That's judgment, man. And she deserved to get put to death because she set the whole thing up. 23-year-old. You see, these women are innocent, man. A lot of men like to protect these women like they're so golden, like they're so precious. They innocent, they can't do no wrong. And these bitches got demons on them, man. She set this dude up, not knowing that he had an AK-47 and shot them. And guess what? When shots rang out, she started running. She caught a bullet in the back of the head. Somebody else got shot, but guess what? When the smoke was cleared, the guy was defending his house. He was not brought up on any charges, and that was judgment from the Lord, man. So look forward to more judgment like that happening, man. We're in the time, in the year 2022, where the Lord Yahweh, why Yahweh Shah, is turning things up, man. So you people keep thinking the Lord is all love. Keep thinking every day is a joke. The Lord is turning things up, man. And a bunch of the 2/3 of you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, they're going to get put to death. You know why? Because we out there in the highways and the byways. We push this truth. And you walk past, you scoff and you scorn, or you get on the comment board and scoff and scorn, or you make videos scoffing and scorning and talking shit, man. Asking questions. Questions for the Hebrew Israelites, man. These are all Jake, man. The same spirits that was back in the ancient world bucking up against this truth. Bucking up against the teachers of Yahweh Shah. They back now today, man. And what we doing is nothing new. Because you're at the prophets of old, like Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Obadiah, Joel. Just to name a few prophets that was out there pushing this word. Now in the case of Jeremiah put curses on you niggas, man. Because he was out there sincerely trying to teach y'all to bring you back in the fold, because the Spirit of the Lord was upon him to do so. But y'all was plotting against Jeremiah. And this is Jeremiah chapter 15, chapter 18, verse 19. And it reads, a plot and a plan. A plot from the 2/3 of you Negroes, Hispanics, and let's slow down. It wasn't the Hispanics, because they was already cast off during the time of Shalmaneser V. So it was about Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. So it reads, a plot and a prayer. A plot against Jeremiah by the Negroes, the Benjamites, and the Levites that wanted to get rid of Jeremiah because he was teaching something that was a thorn in their side. They didn't want to hear it. They didn't want to get right. So this is the plot and the prayer. This is Jeremiah chapter 18, verse 18. Then said they, come and let us devise devices against Jeremiah. For the Lord shall not perish from the priest, nor counsel from the wise, nor the word from the prophet. Because Jeremiah was telling you that, was telling the men in the ancient world to get right because things is going to get nasty, Jeremiah was prophesizing against the downfall of the southern kingdom because they was doing all kind of manner of wickedness, committing adultery, worshiping other gods, sacrificing different deities, having their children pass through the fire, worshiping Moloch. So these are the things that was happening during the time of Jeremiah, and Jeremiah was rebuking and reproving these Negroes, man. Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. And they didn't want to hear it, man. So they was devising to kill Jeremiah because they didn't want to hear the things that he was saying, because what he was saying was cutting them to the heart. And they couldn't take it. So they wanted, what they did was devise mischief against Jeremiah, man. Devices to kill him, to ensnare him, to entrap him. And that's what Jeremiah did. It says, I'm going to read it from again. Read it from the top again. Jeremiah chapter 18, verse 18. Then said they, which were the 2/3 of you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you'll come back in a reincarnation, so you're doing the same thing. It says, come and let us devise devices against Jeremiah. What was them devices? They entrap him in his words, to snatch him up, put him to death, plotting against his life, man, conspiring against his soul to entrap him up. So it says, to entrap him. So the king of Israel, the king of Judah could come upon him and lock him up and do what they're going to do. But that was not so, because these wicked ass niggas, the same wicked ass Jakes that was back then, there's the same spirits coming back in the reincarnation, and they doing the very same thing to us, man. So Jeremiah put curses on them. And them curses stand to this day. The very same curses that was put upon the 2/3 you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans that was coming up against Jeremiah back in the ancient world over 2,000 years ago, guess what? Them curses still cling unto you, man. They still stand to this day. So it reads, for the Lord shall not perish from the priest, nor counsel from the wise, nor the word from the prophets. Come and let us smite him with the tongue, and let us not give heed to any of his words. You see that? And that's today, the 2/3, man. This fit the 2/3 perfectly, man. They didn't want to give heed to his words, man. Let us smite him. Let us entrap him in his words, take him in his own craftiness, and try to put him to death. And let's not take heed to none of his words, man. The same thing, and you fast forward to this day age we living in now, man. 2022, January. The 2/3 do not want to hear the counsel of the Lord, man. These are not our words. We are ambassadors of Yahweh, why Yahweh Shah. We speaking the Lord's words, man. We coming to you in truth and sincerity, giving you the words of Yahweh, why Yahweh Shah, whether you will hear or whether you will forbear, pursuant to Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter, the 17th verse, man. We're going to do what we got to do to get your blood off our hands, man. And that's what we out there in the highways and the byways, in season, out of season, man. Doing that which is right in the eyes of the Most High, man. Putting up videos throughout the week. You know? Doing that which is right in the eyes of the Most High. But you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you're loved to scoff and scorn. But soon, all that's going to be out the window, man. All your scoffing, all your scorning is going to come upon your own head, man. Because the curses in Jeremiah, the curses that Jeremiah put upon you Negroes during the time of his prophecy, when he was prophesying, it stands to this day. Death and destruction is coming. Death and destruction is toward the 2/3, man. This prayer that Jeremiah put up towards the Lord to curse you niggas, man, stands to this day. I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it. I'm going to get into it. And Abba Batazayu Akimatu will be edified, man. So this is back in Jeremiah chapter 18, verse 18. It says, "Then said they, come and let us devise devices against Jeremiah, all them wicked devices, slandering his name." So now, in this day and age, they was trying to come up against him to put him to death. But now, the time we living in now, these niggas can't put us to death, man. So what they do? They slander our name, throw dirt on our name, call us pedophiles, call us rapists. Anything that's negative that they can come up with, they will put that upon the men of the Lord, man. Not knowing that they marking themselves. This is not our thing, man. This thing of ours is of Yahweh, why Yahweh shot, man. This is not our own thing. Like we came, like the Apostle Tahar, let's all of a sudden thought up, you know what? We're going to call ourselves Israelites and we're going to go out there in highways and the byways. We're going to curse the white man out. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. No. This is not of our own thing. This is of the Lord Yahweh, why Yahweh shot. And we are the same prophets coming back from the days of old. And the same curses that Jeremiah put up upon you Negroes, you Benjamites, the southern kingdom, stands to this day. And that's why a lot of you niggas are going to get put to death, man. And that's why we see a lot of horrific deaths being, you know, broadcast. Because why? They're getting their just due. So it reads, it says, come and let us devise devices against them, against Jeremiah, for the Lord shall not perish from the priest, nor counsel from the wise, nor the word from the prophet. Come and let us smite him with the tongue. How they smite him with the tongue? Slander. Come and let us smite him with the tongue. They were slandering him, man. Saying things that was not true. And it stands to this day. Calling us pedophiles, calling us rapists. I ain't got to say too much because we all know how Great Millstone has been labeled, man. Why? Because we give you the 100% truth. The bitter, the sweet, and the nasty of the scriptures, man. That's what you're going to get. 100% truth from Great Millstone. So it reads, and let us not give heed to any of his words. And that's what the 2/3 say to this day. Man, I ain't listen to that nigga, man. That nigga bugged out, man. Look at them bums, man. They pedophiles, they rapists, man. They're not taking heed to what we're saying. But soon, they're going to seek, they're going to look to seek for the words, for the men of the Lord, man. But they're not going to find the men of the Lord. Why? Because the Most High is going to withdraw his men, and that's when all the pain and the anguish is going to take place, man. 2nd Ezra 8:50. Many great miseries is going to come upon the proud, man. Many great miseries is going to come upon them that dwell in the latter time, for they have walked in great pride, man. And that's you niggas, you Negroes, you Hispanics, you Native Americans, man. You're walking in your pride, man. Not taking heed to the prophets of the Lord, and therefore, the same must know it after death by pain, man. Because now you at liberty to learn the words of the Most High. What's that? 2nd Ezra, the 7th chapter? You have liberty to learn of the words of the Lord, Yahweh Yahawashi, man. But guess what? You want none of the words of the Most High. You're going to have nothing to do with the Lord, Yahweh Yahawashi. And therefore, you're going to die, man. You're going to die in your sins, man. Hey, case in point, look at Raptor News. Raptor News was a hardcore scoffer. Scorned the words of the Most High. Disrespected the prophets of the Lord. Started with the apostle Tahar on down. Calling us garbage and sanitation. Calling Yahweh. He even went to the distance of calling Yahawashi a demon. A false deity. Now you in the spirit world in the 4th dimension with your head down. Now you in the right state of mind. It is what it is, man. And that's what's going to happen to the 2/3 of you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans that's coming up against the word of the Most High. You have not a clue of what's going on. So it reads back in Jeremiah chapter 18, verse 19. Give heed to me, O Lord, and hearken unto the words. It's like hearken unto the voice of them that contend with me. The Lord hears all the bullshit that you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans are coming up against the men of the Lord with, man. All your slander, all the shit you remember in your mind, you're scoffing, you're scorning, you come up on the comment board talking shit. You got women being defiant, eating crawfish and twerking their neck like they doing something, special. You ain't even marking yourself. You got Jakes talk about, I got 3 questions or a question for the Hebrew Israelites, like he not a Hebrew Israelite himself, man. The bugged out nature of these Jakes, man. And that's why Jeremiah put up a prayer, asked the Most High to curse these niggas, man. Jeremiah put curses on these niggas, man. And rightfully so. Because y'all ain't right in the spirit, man. God damn, man. We constantly out there putting up videos. But this is only for the elect, man. You have to truly understand. You can't get mad at these niggas that can't get it. You can't get mad at these niggas that like to scoff and scorn. Because this truth is only for the elect, man. If the Lord did not open your eyes to this truth, you're not going to get it, man. You're going to be a scoffer. You're going to be a scorner. You're going to be out there talking shit until the missiles come and destroy you, or you may get put to death by the hands of these cops, or by another wicked ass nigga such as yourself, man. But judgment's gonna come, man. You cannot escape the judgment of the Lord, man. Especially when you heard this truth and you scoffed and you scorned at it, man. So this is back in Jeremiah chapter 18, verse 19. Give heed to me, O Lord Yahweh, and hearken to the voice of them that contend with me. Jeremiah is asking the Lord to hear the curses and hear the plot that they're devising against him. All the devices that these Negroes, to my Judah, Benjamin, Levi, the southern kingdom was devising against Jeremiah. Hear that, man. Jeremiah was praying to the Lord that he hear all the devices that the southern kingdom was proposing upon Jeremiah, man, and contend with them. So it reads, it says, back in Jeremiah 18, verse 19, give heed to me, O Lord, and hearken to the voice of them that contend with me. Shall evil be recompensed for good? And Jeremiah was doing a good deed by going out there prophesying and warning them. See, Jeremiah's good deed was rewarded by evil because they were trying to kill him. The same thing in this modern day age we live in, man. Instead of killing the prophets, they demonize the prophets, man. They come up against the prophets by calling them pedophiles and rapists, man. Calling them black Hebrew Israelites. There's nothing black about us, man. We are different shades of brown. And then you got men that look like Edomites that's within this thing of ours, man. Show you it's not a thing of color, man. It's all due to spirit, man. And that's why 2/3 you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans will get put to death. Because why? You hear them same spirits coming back talking shit against the prophets, man. And that's why I'm reading in Jeremiah 18, verse 18 on down, man. Because Jeremiah put curses on you niggas, man. And them curses stand to this day. Now what, nigga? Have a good time, man. Have a blast. Talk your shit, scoff and scorn. But miseries are coming. 2nd Ezra 8:50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that dwell in the latter time, for they have walked in great pride, man. So keep thinking things is a joke. It says, shall evil be recompensed for good? For they have dug a pit for my soul. Remember that I stood before thee to speak good for them. Hey, Jeremiah was, trying to, sway the Lord, like, don't destroy them, I'm going to speak, I'm going to do what I got to do to turn them back into the fold. What they did, scoffed and scorned, man. They wouldn't have nothing to do with what Jeremiah was bringing them, man. And therefore, the same must know after death by pain, man. So it reads. It says, remember that I stood before thee, Jeremiah stood before the Lord to pray for these people. He stood up for these people, which is his people, which are you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. He tried to do that which was right in the eyes of the Most High, out there prophesizing, thinking he gonna turn the hearts of the children back to the Father. But what happened? He got rewarded by them trying to plot against his life, man. And that's why these curses, which Jeremiah put upon them niggas, it stands to this day. So it reads, it says, so evil be recompensed for good. Jeremiah chapter 18, verse 20. Shall evil be recompensed for good? For they have digged the pit for my soul. Remember that I stood before thee to speak good for them, and to turn away thy wrath from them. Therefore deliver up their children to the famine. And that's a sore way to die, man. For the lack of bread and for the lack of water. And Jeremiah is praying to the Lord that he deliver up the children that was coming up against him, their children, up to the famine. And guess what? Your forefathers coming back, man, in the reincarnation. So all the souls that was coming up against Jeremiah, they back now, man. If you could receive it, if you can't receive it, oh well, they still coming back in their generation, man. And they're gonna be judged. Whether you were here, whether you were forbear, whether you could receive it, you can't receive it. Guess what? That generation back then is here now, man. I don't care if you can't receive it, man. So it reads, therefore deliver up their children to the famine and pour out their blood by the force of the sword. And that's why you see a lot of Jakes getting put to death by guns, man. Gun violence, man. It's on an all-time high, man. Look at the Midwest. Look at Louisiana, Baton Rouge, man. Look at these cops putting these niggas to death. You think it's by coincidence? No. These are the curses that's clinging onto you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans that Jeremiah put upon you, man. And the Lord honored them curses, man, because y'all ain't right, man. And them same spirits that conspired against Jeremiah back then, them same spirits are here today conspiring against the Lord's prophets on down to from the apostles to her on down, man. You're conspiring against us, man. So It is what it is, man. Whether you were here, whether you were forbear, man. This truth is the truth, and the truth beareth the victory, and the truth is going to go out, man, regardless, man. So it reads, therefore deliver up their children to the famine, and pour out their blood by the force of the sword, and let their wives be bereaved of their children. And that's what's happening right now, man. You got single mothers, their sons getting put to death, and they wailing, weeping, and hollering for their children. But that's all judgment, man. Just because he was in college, he was doing this, he was doing that, he was into the streets, but his soul is an old soul. And he did wickedness, man. Whether in this life or the previous life. But guess what? No man escapes unpunished, man. Job 4:7. I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent. No man that get put to death is innocent, man. You being put to death for a reason. Whether it's some shit you did in this life or the previous life, man. But guess what? The Most High required that which is past, man. So death and judgment is coming, man. Death and destruction and judgment is coming, man. The Lord is turning things up in 2022. Get that through your head, man. There's no escaping the judgment of Yahweh by Yahweh Shah, man. We all is going to appear before the judgment seat of the Lord, man. And judged for our deeds, whether they are wicked or whether they are righteous, man. We're going to be judged for our deeds, man. And you can't get around it. But some of you hoe-ass niggas that like to scoff and scorn and get caught up in your emotions, y'all don't realize that, man. Because you're hoe-ass niggas. Emotional ass niggas. That's why you come over on a comment board and scoff and scorn and talk shit. But only to your own demise. Because what you say is not going to affect me. I'm doing the work. What you doing? You being a scoffer and a scorner. That's what you doing. So back in Jeremiah chapter 18, verse okay, 21. Therefore deliver up their children to the famine, and pour out their blood by the force of the sword. And that's when you got niggas dying by the sword in great numbers throughout the four corners of America. It says, and let their wives be bereaved of their children, and be widows, and let their men be put to death. And that's what's happening. All these niggas that's not right in the spirit, they're getting put to death, man. Why? Because these are the curses that's clinging onto them. You don't think the Most High honored Jeremiah's curses that he put upon you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans? But it was because you had Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and also you had other tribes dwelling in that land amongst Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, man. But it was mainly Judah, Benjamin, and Levi that these curses came upon, man. So it says, and let their men be put to death, let their young men be slain by the sword in battle. These curses still stand to this day. Just because you don't believe doesn't mean these curses don't stand. Keep thinking that the Most High is a joke. So it reads, let a cry be heard from their houses when thou shalt bring a troop suddenly upon them. And that's what's going to happen. That troop is going to be by the way of the Gurkha troops, the UN troops, the National Guards, when they go door to door, snatch you out of your houses pursuant to 2nd Esdras, the 15th and the 16th chapter, man. And these are all the curses that's going to come upon you people, man. Once again, 2nd Esdras 8:50, for many great miseries shall come upon the men and the women, roughly paraphrasing it, that dwell in the last time, because they have walked in great pride. 2 Ezra 5:1, many should be taken in a great number. We're in that time, man. We're in the time of judgment. The Lord is turning things up. We're in the year of 2022, where the Lord Yahweh, why Yahweh Shah is turning things up, the year of the turn up. So you think things are going to calm down and go back to normal? No. It's only going to get worse. So it reads, back in Jeremiah chapter 18, verse 22, let a cry be heard from their houses, weeping and howling. When thou shalt bring a troop suddenly upon them. That troop is the National Guards, the UN troops, the Gurkha troops. To snatch you up, someone will get put to death. A lot of women are going to be getting raped and cart you off to a concentration camp, man. That's what's going to happen. They're going to snatch you out of your house, take you and toss you head first into a goddamn back of a van with a bag over your head where you can't see what's going on. You don't know where the hell you're going. This is reality. It says, for they have digged a pit to take me and hit snares for my feet. And that's the same thing you Negroes, Hispanics, you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans are doing on the comment board, man. You demonizing us, calling us black Hebrew Israelites, calling us rapists. In any other way, how you devise mischief and scandal and scoffing and demonization against the men of the law, man. And the only thing we doing is bringing the truth to you, man. We're not coming to you in any kind of way, man, other than in truth and sincerity, bringing you the truth. 100% truth, if you could perceive it, man. We telling you what the MOTB is, man. We telling you don't take that stuff. We telling you of all the calamities that are going to come upon this nation, man. If you're not right with the Lord, you're going to suffer the same death that the wicked is going to suffer, man. Which is thermonuclear destruction. We tell you these things. Whether you were here, whether you were forbear, pursuant to Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter, the 17th verse. But we tell you these things so your blood is on you. It's off our hands. So it reads. It says, verse 23, yet, Lord, thou knowest all their counsel against me to slay me. And right now, these scoffers and scorners can't slay the men of the law, but they were seeking Jeremiah's like to kill him. But now, you fast forward to the day if you're living in now, man. The only thing they can do now is scandalous, man. Slander our names, demonize us, but if they could, they would kill us, man. If they could get away with it, they would put us to death, man, for what we are teaching. So all the curses that Jeremiah put upon the southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, holds to this day. Let's not make no mistakes about that. It holds to this day. And the Lord is going to put 4 kinds of death upon you Negroes, man, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. Pursuant to Jeremiah, the 15th chapter, the 1st verse on down to the 3rd verse, man. So it reads, yet, Lord, thou knowest all their counsel against me to slay me. Forgive not their iniquity, forgive not their sins. Because iniquity is sin upon sin. Forgive not their iniquity, neither blot out their sins from thy sight. But let them be overthrown before thee. Deal thus with them in the time of thy anger. And what's the time of the Lord's anger? Jeremiah 30:7. Jacob's trouble. Daniel 12:1. Revelation 12:12. 2 Ezra the 50th and the 16th chapter. It says, deal thus with them before thee. It says, deal thus with them in the time of thy anger. And we're approaching that time. So all you scoffers and scorners, delight in your scoffing and scorning, because your candle's going to get put out. You don't have a candle, but your light's going to get put out. That dark candle that you got lit, that's real dim, when you let the scoff and scorn and talk shit and come against the prophets of the Lord, that's going to come to a cease, man. You're going to be held accountable for everything you say. Dig that, bitch. So with that, this has been a plot and a prayer. The plot against the prophets of the Lord started with the apostles on down, and the prayer of the apostles and the men that's right in the eyes of the Most High to deal with these scoffers and these scorners. A plot and a prayer. The prayer of the men started with the apostles of Har on down of a great millstone against the scorners and the scoffers and the 2/3 that can't get right. So once again, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Wakak Wadash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to you Akim out there that push this word in truth and in sincerity. Shalom.